Hello everyone, and welcome to this new tutorial explaining the new features of the update of my add-on Packfold. So let's get started. First, let's delete all these items in the scene, and let's import a die line with the DXF format. So let me import it. I can set the scale to 0.001 as it comes too big, so huge in the scene if we import it directly like that. So let's import it. Here is our die line. I can delete this empty block, we don't need it. As you can see here, we have this die line with some windows on it. The first main thing that these new features of the Packfold can support is the Windows cuts. The previous version doesn't do that, and now we have solved that issue. So let me join this window with the main cut. Ctrl J. As you see here, we have the cut and we have the folds. You can see on the right side the add-on contains now new buttons, especially in the cut tools. I'm going to explain what does these buttons do. Same behavior like we did before. We select the cut curve, and then you see here we have this option here to mesh subdivision. Now we can have some much cleaner topology for the mesh creation. We can now subdivide the mesh to get some geometry, so we can later do some deformation. This is the main goal why we did this subdivision options here. So if you are going to have some deformation later in your packaging, you can set some subdivision here. If not, you can just go with 0 and then generate the mesh as before. The second thing, okay, let's try also the subdivision. Let's set it, for example, for 60 and then generate the cut mesh. You can see that it have now some geometry with just fewer angles. However, if we did it with the 0 subdivision, we will get a full angles like this. Okay, so it's up to you what your target is. We did the cut mesh now with 0 subdivision. Same now as before. We select our folds curve, and then we set folds. As you see now, the folds are marked with red, and unlike the previous version that it just cut them without marking them as red. It's good to distinguish between the normal edges and the folds. Okay, now we also have two new buttons. What does these buttons do? The first one is mark as fold. Mark as fold do this job actually. So if, let's say, you set the folds, you select your fold and you click set folds to cut the folds, and some of the edges doesn't properly set it as fold, we can select that edge. Let me switch to edge selection. Let's say this one is a fold, for example. So I select it and then mark as fold. So it's become as red. That means it is now a fold. The other button, which is clear fold, it does the opposite, which is clearing or cleaning the folds. Let's say this one is not a fold, and mistakenly when you set folds it comes as a fold. You can go and then clear folds. Hope this is clear for you. After that, we have this button load artwork that helps to load the artwork. Maybe loading artwork before starting the folding will help you to understand how the folding is going to happen. So load artwork, we can go and load artwork, and the good thing is it fits exactly with the cutting with a die line without the need of adjusting the UVs. So as you can see, the artwork fit exactly on the mesh. So we did the creation of the geometry, and we texture it with our artwork. Now the next step is going to do the folding system. So same as before, we select one panel or one face. It's better to be a front or maybe the back, but preferably it's be the front. We select the whole face, or even only one face from the panel, and then we set, or we click on generate folding system. After clicking that button, you can see now the armature is created successfully, following exactly the shape or the die line. We have the button clear, which does clear the armature if there is any mistakes, and also it clears the weight paint groups. So this button is just for clearing. Okay, after that we select our armature and we enter to the fold mode. The fold mode got some updates as well. We can show names as before, and stick display and show in front, so we can see the armature from any angle. Okay, now the good thing also in this update is whenever you select the bone, it highlights here from the list of the bones on the slide menus, so you know where to control that rotation or the folding of that bone. So like this, you can see which slide is convenient for each panel. Okay, now let's start folding. I start. Okay, but before doing that, maybe let me rotate the whole thing here and make it front facing the front, RX minus 90. Oh, sorry, RX 90. Okay, now I'm in the front and I'm going to fold this packaging. I select my armature, enter fold mode, so the bones becoming green. Now we can start the folding. Okay, let's start one by one. Minus 90, minus 90, same, let me add some makeup so I can see some reflection on my packaging. Maybe this one is good. Yeah, you can see now some reflection. That helped me to understand the shape. Let me go down, fold mode again, select this bone, minus 90, minus 95, so it goes a bit inside, minus 95, the top one, minus 60. Oh, sorry, not that one. This one, minus 60. Same for the opposite. Minus 30. So make sure this cut comes exactly there. Okay, now we already done with our packaging. You can switch off the texture so you can see, and let's switch on the cavity so we can see some bevels. I think this one is too much, maybe minus 29. Minus 29. Okay, like this. Let's switch back our texture. Okay, now let's go to the next part, which is the geometry. Now we added some options for the thickness and the bevel, which is demanded by some people who already tested the add-on, and they suggest to add them. I wasn't adding them because you can easily add them manually from the modifier section, but it's good also to add them here. So let's set the solidify or the thickness to 0.005 maybe. If you see that's too much, you can reduce it. Once you add it, you can also have it here in the modifier section. So if you can control, you can control from both sides. But here you can go the full option of the modifier, and here you get just the necessary options like thickness and offset, and same for the bevel. So we can go and set it again 0.005 and or maybe 0.02. Yeah, you can see that now we have some thickness for the paper. You can check from the bottom. I think the bottom folding need to be improved a bit. So let's go back to folding mode and then set this maybe to -95. Yeah, like this, and this one to -95 as well. So this is how it folds in reality. Okay, now let's back to our packaging and add some bevel. You can add it, as I said, you can get it from here or here. It's up to you which one you prefer. Let's add some bevel with 0.001 and see, and then we keep this as absolute, and this one weights, but here change this to UV seams. You can see that we have some bevel, but it's too much, I guess. So we can go and reduce it 0.05, and you see that our edges folds are beveled. You can increase the geometry to 8 segments, so you get better and smoother edges. Yeah, so this is the demonstration of the new updates of the Packfold add-on. If you want to go and do the rest things, I mean the rendering, let's add the floor here like this, and then let's switch to cycles, GPU. Let's add an HDRA. Let's use this Studio HDRA, switch to rendering, the noise. As you can see, the bevel is nice, the thickness as well. You can improve the material. Come here, maybe you make it a little metallic or maybe a bit shiny. And that's it. Thank you for watching, and if you have any concerns or questions, let me know in the comments. Thank you, and see you in the next tutorial.